I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
DMWATS.
Unscripted.
Unedited.
Unapologetic.
Let's get it.
All right. You ready, baby?
Sure.
All right. What is going on, everybody? I am Davey.
I'm Misty.
And welcome to another episode of DMWATS Podcast. It is good to see everybody again today, or this evening, or whenever you're listening or watching us. It's good to see everybody.
Sure.
I, before we even get into it, have got to say, we went to Oklahoma. We went to Oklahoma.
We did.
We went to Oklahoma.
We went to northeastern Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I did some stuff that most people wouldn't think I'd be doing, like four-wheeling,
Yes.
mudding.
Yes.
I shot a snake.
Yes.
I shot a snake. I shot a snake.
Basically, Davey is no longer allowed to say that's white people shit because he spent 3 days doing what he would have considered white people shit.
But it was fun.
And has had the time of his life
Yeah,
and has
yeah.
not stopped talking
I'm
about
gonna
it.
tell y'all. I'm gonna tell you.
So
I had a ball. Like what else I do? I shot a snake. Shot a prairie dog. Chased a coyote in a four-wheeler.
On a four-wheeler.
I almost got him. Almost
Went
shot
hog
him.
hunting.
Went hog hunting.
Went
and,
crow hunting.
Squirrel
hunting.
So I gotta say the hog
He
hunting
went
thing.
hunting.
The hog hunting thing. That you gotta be different to do something like that because being alone in an open field is. I mean, it's different. And don't get me wrong, I had 2 guns on me, but it's still like, hey, we're getting real.
It was like filming an episode of How to Train Your Redneck.
Or filming the new movie Predator, because I was like, hey man, there are noises out here that I'm not used to hearing. So I was like,
you had a great time.
yeah, oh
and
man,
you came back with so many stories.
I had a blast.
I sat on the porch
yeah,
with my
she sat
wonderful
on the porch.
cousins
She didn't go for a wheel.
and my mama.
Yeah.
Nope.
But and I got 7 ticks. That's
See, and that's why I sat on the porch.
I don't really know if that's something to brag about. I got 7.
2 were Lone Star.
Yeah, 2 were Lone Star
Lone
ticks.
Star.
So I just finished my dose of doxycycline.
Yeah, guys, if you get bit by a tick within, and you find them within 7 days, and they've been embedded for up to 4 days, please call your doctor.
Man.
The CDC recommends a dose of doxycycline.
Yes, 2 pills a day for 7 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I mean I'm fine.
Because you don't want to get
you don't want none of that
fever,
stuff.
You
it
don't
sucks.
want to get alpha gal.
Yeah.
You don't.
And one of those things that's what's called alpha gal.
Alpha gal is
That makes you allergic to red meat. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's like no burgers, no steaks.
And then there's another one I didn't tell you, but
What?
there was a CDC warning. But remember I showed you the picture of the
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was a CDC warning for the state of Kansas on ticks and how there is an uptick in ticks.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 more diseases now that they're finding.
Man.
And one is pretty bad.
That's why you definitely if you got a tick on you, definitely go get
do your
those
tick
pills.
checks, people.
Yeah, do your tick checks.
Ears, back of knees, belly buttons.
Those
groin,
things they're nasty little
tummy
buggers.
folds, hair,
Yeah, they're nasty little buggers, that's for sure.
armpits,
Mm-hmm. Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yep. They go everywhere. But
Get a tick buddy.
yeah, and anyway, I mean not to shy away from Oklahoma. It was primarily
No.
fun. All that
It
stuff
doesn't
happened.
deter you either.
All
That's the good
all
news.
those ticks happened after we got home.
And he was wearing bug spray.
Yeah.
Their
And I
Lone
was
Stars
covered
are very
in.
aggressive.
Yeah, I was
So-
in bug spray. So.
You were in bug spray.
Mm-hmm. Is it my turn or your turn to pick?
Let's go with you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna get my hand in the
You
jar.
know, I was thinking today,
Huh.
with all the crap that's going on in the world, I was like, wow, and sometimes you just have those thoughts of, should we be doing something different with the podcast? And, should we actually pick topics and do all this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, it's literally an escape.
Yeah, it is.
Because we're not talking about all that. Yes, if something's important, we're going to get on here and we're going to say something about it. But that's not what we're about.
Nope.
We're so about escapism for 30 minutes.
And that's the whole point behind
For
it. Because
ourselves.
it's like, that's why we can, talk about whatever we want, get on whatever we want, and so on and so forth. We don't do this for money. We don't do this for popularity.
No, we do.
We do it because we like to do
It's
it.
our own therapy.
And that's it. So, without further ado.
What's today's therapy topic?
So it's a funny one. Well, it's not funny,
Oh.
but it's just something to make you think.
Can't we
When
make-
have you given up on something, and was it justified? Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
Yep.
Sure have.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh. Ex-husband.
Yeah, that's both of our first ones.
Well,
Is
yeah.
our exes.
Yeah. 17 years.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You
Yeah.
know,
And
the band played long enough on the Titanic. I
But-
got to jump ship, people.
for those that don't know, we both were married to our exes for the exact same amount of time, 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A day too long.
And we both feel that was the best thing to do is to give up
Yes.
on that. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
At some point, you just got to go, I did the best I could.
Yeah, maybe this just.
And I'm no saint. And this
Yeah.
is just toxic.
Yep. Maybe this ain't for us.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I got one.
That's
That one was
not much to say
that one was
about
agreeable. That's
Should
all
we
I
pick
had to
another
say.
one?
That's
'Cause
all. I,
there's-
no,
okay.
no. I got another one.
Well,
So school. I had given up on school in 2007 or 2010, and
Okay.
it was by far not justified whatsoever.
oh.
It was not justified. Like I wanted to be a pilot so bad,
Okay.
and I was gonna do the school. I got the school done, and I just didn't do it. It was not justified. I can make every excuse in the world as to why I didn't do it, but ultimately it comes down to me just not doing it. And however, that's a catch-22 there, right? I gave up on it, and then 10 years later?
You went back to school.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It wasn't about. It's not about education. It's
Right.
about you wanting to be
To
a
do something,
pilot.
right,
It was
do
the
something on it,
pilot
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things that I still like. Hey, I would still want to do it, but I'm saying it's one of those things that at the time, giving up on it was like, well, I guess this thing isn't going to happen, and that's one of the things where me and you have talked in previous episodes about. Hey, you're your own worst critic. Nobody can
And
tell you,
enemy.
Nobody can tell you what you can and can't do. It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where it's just like, wasn't justified. It just wasn't. Do you have something else?
Hold on. I gotta give up on these lights for a second.
Oh.
'Cause I hate it when they go out of sync.
Oh, they went. I didn't realize they went out of sync. Okay,
Totally
yeah,
makes me mad.
yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see like
And I'm
our
just
lights sometimes
not
will
having it right
jump
now.
out of sync. But hey, it's all a
And
part of our podcast. Like I think that's it.
There we go.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, if you're looking at us
Woo,
on
that
YouTube,
was a close
you
call,
can see
people.
exactly what we're talking about.
Oh,
no.
shit. Okay, well,
We'll just leave it be.
I'm giving up on it.
Yeah,
And it's justified.
it is justified. It's gonna drive you crazy if you don't. You got
Yeah, I'm
anything?
just not going to look at it anymore.
Yeah.
So, have I given up on something and was it justified?
Yes. Besides our exes.
I have to say, like, when it came to my education, because I had to put it down for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
but I never gave up on it. I knew I would complete it. I didn't know when, but I knew I would.
Okay.
I gave up on. Well, I mean, a tiny bit. Like, yeah, my dream of being an artist. Like, right out of the gate, that's all I wanted. I had been accepted into a special school in California, and this was all before I was even in high school. And I gave up on that. And was it justified? Absolutely not.
Okay. So
Because it was bullshit. I shouldn't have given up on it.
yeah.
Somebody should have slapped me very hard.
And so, well, I've seen you paint and draw and all those things. So I would agree with you. You never see me fly a plane other than video games, but I can agree with you on that because I see your skills now, and they're just amazing. They're just really amazing. So, if you would just imagine if you would have honed that.
Well,
sooner.
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
every time I pick the brush back up, I'm better than I was when I put the brush down. And I sit there and I'm like, man, how much better would I have been? Would I have been, so much further along, or would I have that gallery, in Monterey or even Oklahoma? I mean, who would I be had I not given that up? And I'm not saying that I regret it, because I love my life and I love, the journey I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't give up on art. I mean, I still paint, I still draw, I still do those
Yeah.
things, but I didn't go pursue it formally and
Yeah.
like wholeheartedly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't the only focus in my life.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I get that. And but that's the other thing about the topic though. When you're looking at it, was it justified? Which is why I'm glad you put that in parentheses. Was it justified? Because sometimes, you know, when we start talking about like, hey, giving up and stuff like that, it's not so much that you're just not doing it ever. It's just at that time,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just at that time, was it something that you could or couldn't do? You know what I'm saying? That's what we talk about. Was it justified?
That's the problem. Like I could have done it,
Yeah.
and I should have.
Yeah.
But
Situations.
the decision was left up to me, and it shouldn't have been because I was a kid.
Oh. Mhm.
And I understand it because it was gonna be a lot of money. It's not like there was scholarships and crap for that, but yeah. So, but I gave up on it, but seriously, I was okay with it. Like I was okay with it, and I really have enjoyed my life, and I still continue to. So it's trippy to think about the things that you pass up on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can understand that. I know I have another one that I gave up on.
You always have like 10 things to topic.
it just pops up. Unless you
It's
got,
crazy.
do you have
no,
one? Oh, okay.
that's the thing.
So one thing that I gave up on.
Giving up.
One thing that I gave up on, and so this is very broad when I say it. So and when I gave up on religion at a young age.
Oh.
I gave up on religion.
Sure.
Like when I left my parents' home,
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I'm done.
Trauma response.
I'm done." So I didn't give up on God, mind you. Keep in mind, I said I gave up on religion.
Yeah, big difference.
And
people.
big difference. I gave up on religion itself.
Yeah.
Because when you're raised a certain way, and under a certain religion, and especially a lot of these religion, the rules can seem way too restrictive, to where it's like, nah, I'm pretty sure this is what God intended. This
Right.
is not what God intended. And so the rules were so strict that I was just done with religion and church altogether. And in 22 to 24 years later, I still haven't stepped foot in a church. I still talk to God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we still talk to God. I'm non-denominational, and I feel it was justified at that point.
Sure.
I feel
Well,
it was
wasn't
justified.
serving you.
No.
It was, and there was trauma surrounding it. So,
Right.
And I think for any of us that grew up in the church and had experiences in a church setting,
Right.
it becomes a trauma response where we're not necessarily putting down God, but we are like, no, I'm not going to a church.
Exactly. And there's certain things, because I see even now, I would talk to you about that, some of the people I even grew up in the church, and they're like, no, we don't believe in God at all.
Yeah,
Period.
it
Like
totally
whatsoever.
had the complete opposite effect on them.
Yeah, and I mean, to each their own. That's to each their own. But I didn't give up on God. I gave up on religion. So I still follow him. I don't follow your way or a certain
doctrine.
The doctrine that they feel that this is what has to be done. Now, I mean, because at some point, yes, I consider myself under that Christian faith. But then
yes.
it's
you follow the theological
Right.
and biblical foundations
right.
of doctrine
Right.
as far as Jesus Christ.
Right. So
You don't follow what the Baptists say about it, or what the Lutheran Church says
Right.
about it, or
And
what
so-
the Mormons say about it, or the
Right.
Catholics.
because
You
everybody has
follow-
something different. Everybody has
you
a different belief.
follow the Bible
Right.
and the lessons of Jesus.
And that, like I said, I won't knock the
Point blank period.
yes. So, but my thing is, yes, it was justified. My thing was, yes, it was justified.
Sure.
And as with every one of these, we said, what have you given up on something? Was it justified? We justified, but what I noticed that each one of the things, we kind of gone back to. If you think about it, your
sure.
art,
Yes.
you know what I mean. My pilot thing, I still
Circle back.
circle back. Marriage, we got remarried to each
Circle
other.
back.
Yeah, we circle
Yeah.
back to each other.
We're like, oh, okay, I'll try it with
yeah,
you.
that's right with you. It was not circling back to
I'll
the
be
same
okay
individual.
with that.
Yeah, not circling back to the individual, but that's one
And
of those
God
things.
and the Bible.
Right.
And not being afraid to learn it. I mean, there is at the table a lot of they didn't teach us that in
Yeah,
church.
oh God.
Why didn't they, from both sides, why
Yeah.
didn't they tell us that?
Why didn't they tell us these things that,
Yeah.
you know, it's not, or the whole fact that that's your interpretation. That's not
Well,
the exact truth.
there's
That's
always
your,
that.
right. That's your interpretation of it. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, we rather not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
would rather not. So what else you got? What have you given up on? And on when have you given up on something? And was it justified?
I have given up trying to understand people. You hear me say that all the time.
Yeah.
I sit there and I'm like, I wish I knew why they're doing it, but I don't want to understand them because that means then I would understand what's in their head, and maybe I don't want to know.
Right.
Maybe I'm not supposed to know what it's like to be them or to be on their level, whatever level that is. And yeah, so I've given up on that, and like fighting people too. I won't. I will fight if it's like a company or a corporation or a legal or whatever. I'll fight in that way. If it's an entity, I will fight. But if it's a person, I'm just like, yeah, okay, here's why you shouldn't do that, but go with God. You're going to do it. And I'm not, if you call me, I'm not going to sit there. I'm just going to go, really?
Yeah. Well, especially in this climate.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, especially in this climate, though. Because when you say that.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and when you say that, giving up on people in this, especially in this climate, because.
Talking to people about politics, I've absolutely given up on.
100%.
Running for office did that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well,
nope.
There you go. That's what you gave up on.
You're damn right.
Running for office.
And it was justified.
It was 100% justified.
Nope, not for me.
People get crazy,
I'm too mouthy
people
to be nice all the time.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
So.
And so that's such a broad aspect, giving up on people, because nowadays, the things that we see with people, man, it's like the.
Well, I haven't given up on people, though.
Well, I know. I know what you're talking about. Trying to understand people. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so
I don't want to understand you.
Yeah, because it's. Whew, Lord.
People are scary.
Yeah, it's like the whole world has become Ken and Karens. That's what it's. That's what it's boiled down to.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. But at the same time, there's always a light at the end of every tunnel. So it's. Give it up on understanding people, but not up on people.
Sometimes it's the sun, sometimes it's a train.
Okay, that was different. There's a light at the end of every tunnel.
Yeah.
Could be the sun, could be a train.
Choose wisely.
Yeah.
Choose your tunnels wisely,
exactly.
people.
One makes noise, one doesn't.
Yep.
All right. That's what it boils down to. But anyway. What have you given up on? When have you given up on something? Was it justified? So,
You've said it like 6 times.
I know.
Okay.
But I say that as I'm thinking about. As I'm thinking about it. So, I can say this. This is a tough one to admit, but it's true. So, I gave up on the military, such as retiring. And you know what I'm saying? When I say gave up on it, it's, hey, I'm done with it. Like that. That's it. Like that's all. So I did the 22 years.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, hey, I'm done. I mean, as far as serving in an active duty sense. That's what I'm referring to. I gave up on that. Like, hey, all right, I'm done. Was it justified? Well, let's look at it from numerous counts. Was it justified? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was definitely justified.
Mental health being the number one.
Mental health is the number one reason, and it was definitely justified. And it's one of those things that, we don't talk about much as far as putting that out there like that. We did a special on all that, but you know what I mean. But
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm just throwing that out there.
I guess is that. Well, yeah, I guess in a way it is giving up. Yeah. I never thought of. I guess I always thought of it as acceptance.
Yeah.
That it's like time.
Yeah.
To go.
So now here's the thing. We view those words, giving up, as if it's the worst thing in the world.
Oh, totally.
You see what I'm saying? No, you didn't give up. It was like, no, you did. You're like, I accepted it. I accepted it. Right.
You
accepted the fact that you give, like that doesn't mean such a bad thing in in every scenario. Like, hey, no, you gave up. Like, no, that's
True. I gave up smoking.
right. So that's not a I gave up religion. It's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing every
I mean, I
single
still
time
vape,
as
but I
well.
gave up smoking.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's like you said, you started with acceptance. You even talked about it. You said acceptance.
You have to accept it.
Yeah, and so it's
Accept and move on.
true. So, and that's where how you can view it as not so much in a sense of from a failure aspect, because that's not, because we associate that with like, oh, you gave up, like you failed at this or you
It's
failed
where
at
those
something.
pesky words come in.
Yeah.
It's because the only context we ever hear it used in is in a failure.
Right. It's in a derogatory sense.
I couldn't do something, so I gave up.
Right. So it's like, yeah, you're right. So that's immediately looked at as
Yeah.
a derogatory thing, but in actuality, it's not. It's not always. Sometimes, but not every single time, and that's why we use words like acceptance. Say like accepting that this is it, that this is what's to come, or this is what's next.
So I gave up on statistics the first time around. Just completely gave up.
Mhm.
I was like, this is never going to happen.
Yep.
And the second time around, I accepted that I sucked at it, which
Yeah,
was
but
hard for me to admit because I'm a good student.
But you passed it.
But
But you
because I
passed.
accepted it. Aha!
But you passed it, yeah.
Admitting you have the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, that's the first step.
It's the first step. And God knows I hate statistics.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there are some people out there, but
Statisticians.
yeah, we're just not one. We're just not one of them. So
I am not a statistician.
I have another one.
Okay.
Unless you have.
No, I was desperately trying. I gave up trying to think of one before you said, I've got another one.
Oh.
I was really like, beat the clock.
Because you knew I was.
Yes.
Because you knew I was
I
coming.
know you.
Like
so
he's
I'm
about
like,
to
oh
come over
God,
with another.
keep talking, Misty. If you keep him talking, he can't say, I've got another
I
one.
got another
so
one.
keep thinking, Misty. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's one.
Shit.
So, giving up on being too stressed. So, look, okay, hear me out. So,
Oh, I'm listening.
yeah, so let's look at it this way. We just came from Oklahoma. And I can't say that we weren't stressed before we left. And I'm not saying we were stress-free when we got back. But I am here to say that it was a different kind of relaxation.
95.6%.
Yeah, it was a
For you statisticians, we were stress-free.
yeah. And so, but it was, it was different though. And what I find is that, when we were bigger into our meditation and things like that, it's like, hey, it was easier to give those things up, like that stress.
Duck water,
Wait, what?
The duck, the water, letting it roll off your back.
Oh, okay, yeah, that.
I give up.
Yeah, you just say it that. but no, seriously, like, and it's like, was it justified? Oh hell yeah. When is it not justified in giving up stress? You know what I mean? Like, when is that not justified? It's saying, nah, no, I'm not gonna allow these things to stress me out anymore, or nothing like that.
Giving up creates boundaries. So
That-
see, that's
you know
a good
what? See,
thing.
I like
give
that.
up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
give up, and that's in understanding people that creates a boundary.
Right.
You giving up stress that creates a boundary.
Right, and that's something, and we've all seen the memes, and everybody's a philosopher on Facebook and social media, and everybody's a psychologist. You know what I'm saying? And so once you let those things, you give those things up, and boundaries are created. It's when you find out when people actually had your best, had you at heart,
Yeah.
or were you just being used by people for what their narrative was, what they wanted you to do for them. So because you create those boundaries, right? Once you relieve that stress, and you're like, you're not good for me, or these things aren't good for me, so I have to give these things up.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I don't regret giving them up. It's definitely justified But those things is sometimes, a lot of times, those things happen to be human beings, and they're the ones that can literally.
Most of the time,
Yeah.
they end up being human beings.
Yes, and a lot of times they end up either misunderstanding or not trying to understand, which can a lot of times lead to you just excluding them from your life altogether. Hence the word boundaries to begin with. So, you know what I mean? And it's definitely justified for your mental health.
Yeah,
You know, it's definitely justified.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about giving up. Like, a lot of it is because of you're trying to save yourself.
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know?
Well, wow. That's one way to look at it. Like, I'm trying to save myself. Like, hey, I'm tired of fighting with individuals
This
over
is-
nonsense.
Yeah, but you have to do it with yourself, too. I'm giving up being skinny.
Mm.
I used to be skinny,
Mm.
and I'm going to give it up. Why? Because if I give up the want to be skinny, I will have accepted the fact. And I already started. I bought clothes that fit me. Instead of, oh, I keep staring at it in my closet and I can't wear it because
Yeah.
I'm too big, but I'm punishing myself by not buying clothes that fit right
Mm. Therefore,
because I know I should be doing better to lose weight because it's going to help my fibro and it's going to do this and all
Mhm.
that. I'm Portuguese. I love food. As one of those memes said, my fat has accepted Jesus Christ as its Lord and Savior. It's not leaving. So
I've never seen that.
oh
meme,
yeah,
but that is just hilarious.
you can't. Yeah,
I've never seen that meme,
it has.
but
So,
okay, that is
yeah.
hilarious.
So, but I also know
That's
this
funny.
from past experience when I have finally accepted, like when I go and buy T-shirts that are the right size
Yeah.
or whatever, even if it's just
Yeah.
one size bigger,
Mm-hmm.
or I start buying bigger like dresses just because I want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I start shredding weight,
Mm.
and right now it's just about comfort because
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been in so much pain, and after getting the shot, I'm in my Mrs. Roper era. I'm like moo central.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all good.
I'm
though.
Misty's moo-moos. Like, I walk in the door, Davey just doesn't even get to turn around
Yeah.
or put the dogs outside, and I've
That's-
already come back out of the
In
bedroom
pajamas or some
in a
sweats.
moo-moo.
Yeah. So I'm like, what? So
And you
just
go,
all
wow,
comfortable.
you're a ninja dresser.
Yeah. But we.
It's the Mrs. Roper in me. I
Yeah.
watched too much Three's Companies when I
Yeah.
was a kid.
So, I'm sorry, but this has to be said. One thing that we've given up on this past 2 weeks, going outside.
Life. Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to go a different
I
direction
didn't
with
know.
it.
I'm sorry. I meant to say go. It just hit me when you were talking about we come from outside.
We don't
give
go
up-
outside.
Look,
We don't talk about the outside.
Lord have
We don't
mercy.
talk about the sun.
That heat dome is. Woo.
We are vampires
Yeah, like,
officially. We
I-
go out at night to water our plants.
I tell you, I when you wake up and you go outside and it's about 10 o'clock is when it hit, ain't it? About 10, 11 is when that heat hits
With
you.
the heat? No,
Yeah.
it's been hitting like at 8.
Yes, it is like you go outside and you immediately, if you are an atheist and you walk outside, you are immediately thinking they were right. The rapture happens and I didn't make it.
It's true, though.
And this is hell.
We are living in hell on
You're
earth.
immediately thinking you should have got your life right when you
It's
go out there.
bad. It's bad outside.
Yeah, that's
But I
just-
thought you meant life in general because we
Yeah.
have literally binge watched
oh my God.
for like a month. That's all we've done.
Hold
I
on.
hate to admit it. I mean,
Yeah.
we did our appointments
Yeah.
and the normal
I
stuff.
love
and
to
yes,
admit
we
it.
went
That's-
away to
that's-
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But holy
Oh my
hell,
goodness.
we finished all of Outlander.
7 seasons,
And
people.
then we said, hey, let's try The Shy.
Man.
And that was 2 weeks of our life
Man,
gone.
The Shy.
And
Oh.
I am jonesing because
Yeah.
now I have to wait till Friday for a new
Yeah.
episode of Shy because we're that caught up.
Because what you
7
Yeah.
seasons,
yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, what you have to realize is
We gave
we're caught up, and so now literally we're where everybody else is. We're all right. Friday, come on, give me that one episode. It's like crack or something. Like I just need one episode.
The
Just give me
binge
the one
watching
episode.
has gotten so bad that I have started putting when stuff comes back on the calendar the minute I get the
She
date.
does. So the bear comes out.
So last
Thursday.
month Evil came back, and
Yes.
it's its final season.
Yep.
So that was on the calendar. This month, it's the bear, which is tomorrow, and
Yeah.
I cannot flip and wait because
Yep.
we love the bear.
Yeah.
And then P Valley is coming soon.
Yeah. And then the boys started.
Oh, the boys.
They started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean,
We've given up on real life. Because sometimes you just got
Yeah,
to.
but you
It's
know what?
just, it's 100 and FU outside.
Oh my
and
goodness! It is. It
there's
is
no
so
point.
bad.
And
Yeah.
watching the busy road we can see from our window, and like nobody being out there,
Yeah.
except at like morning, lunch,
Yeah.
and then when people go home. Like there is no runners, there is no dog walkers. There
Hey.
is. It's funny.
I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all better appreciate your air conditioning. You better treat your air conditioning like a pet. Go outside, pet it, make sure everything's okay. You doing okay, girl?
Do
You
you
all
need to
right?
be hosed
Whatever.
off?
You want
What can I do
want
for
some
you,
water?
honey?
Want me to spray you off on the side? Like you better treat.
I will build you a house.
I'm telling you, you better treat that air conditioner like it is
I'm
your
gonna go
best
buy
friend.
it a pina colada.
I'm saying
and
like,
umbrella.
hey, bro, like you really done your thing this year. You know what I'm
It's
saying? Like,
bad.
yeah, it's crazy out there. You
But-
already know that your power bill finna shoot up.
You know, the great thing about everything though is that we are in the downhill slide into July. It's only going to get hotter, but
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
means that Misty made it through tornado season. So
Yes, we made it through.
Yay, I made it through
Yeah.
tornado season
Yes.
without having a psychotic break.
Yes. And our vacation
Yay.
spot apparently declared a state of emergency.
So we were going to go to New Mexico. We gave up.
Yeah.
We gave up on going to New Mexico, and thank God we did, because like within a week of me
Yeah.
saying, "Baby, look, I really have a feeling, and I want us to wait.
Yeah.
Can we just put it off another week? Can you just
Yeah.
give me another week to figure this out? This feeling I have out." And then state of emergency has been declared in New Mexico. Wildfire after flood,
Oh,
after
my
drought,
goodness, bruh.
after dust storm.
It was crazy.
After more fire, and I'm like, and then record heat and the heat
Yeah.
dome, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a good call.
Yep.
My
Good
gut,
call.
my gut was working.
Yep. Good call. Good call.
So.
Man. So, but hey, I think we about covered the majority of it, unless you got something else on it.
Yeah, I really think we should give up on this.
Okay, we're gonna give up
Okay.
on giving up. Give up on this. All right, guys. So that's gonna be our show. As always, we have fun with these things regardless. But anyway, that's gonna do it for us in this episode. Signing off for DMWATS Podcast. I am Davey.
I'm Misty.
And we are DMWATS. You guys, please stay cool out there. Stay inside unless you
Please.
absolutely have to go
Be
out there.
safe.
And if you do, make sure you're hydrated, man. Real talk. It's nasty.
Wear sunscreen,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
bug spray,
All of that.
get a tick buddy.
Yep.
Spread those cheeks, people.
Absolutely.
Gotta look
Yep.
for them.
So,
ticks.
yep. We'll catch you on the next one. We'll catch up. Bye, everybody.